This episode, we're coming to you live from the club on board Celebrity Edge. We'll tell you all about what you'll find on board this gorgeous ship. Plus, we'll talk to a couple on board who are having their first cruise. There's some great deals coming up later this year on board this very ship, Celebrity Edge, that are available right now, and Paul wants to tell you about them. Plus, we'll check the latest cruise news. So, let's sail away and start the show.
It's time to get your cruise on.
This is Cruise and Travel with Paul McAllister.
Hi, I'm Steve, and the fella sitting next to me is Paul McAllister, the Chief Dream Cruise creator behind 101cruise.com.au.
This is the podcast that takes you behind the world of cruising and lets you in on the big cruising deals. You'll find out more on the website 101cruise.com.au by signing up for the newsletter.
So, here we are. We're sitting in the club at the moment, which is a fairly, at night. It's the nightclub, I guess, isn't it?
But they use it a lot for other events as well. So, they'll do quiz nights during quizzes during the day and other events, more entertainment as well. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous facility just sitting here. It doesn't feel like a nightclub. It doesn't smell like a nightclub, which is really nice.
The floor isn't sticky.
Nope. It's lovely. It's actually really classy. I just love it. It's very cool. But that's like the whole ship, to be honest. From the time I walked onto it, I just looked around and went, wow, this is elegant. It's really classy.
It feels very, very nice. I must admit, it's been a rough couple of days, though. The waters on the east coast at the moment are pretty rough.
Well, look, there's been 5 sailors who have been, or fishermen off the rocks that have gone missing in this swell, and it is a big swell. And look, I'm not the best sailor, am I, really? I mean, I get sick on a rowboat, so, but on a yacht, I'm totally okay. And look, I'm fine on this. The movement's okay, but I think there'd be a few people who would be suffering a little bit harder with that too.
Yeah, and you tend to only really notice it in the end if you are like walking down the corridor.
Oh, we just walk down the corridor like I'm drunk, but I'm not.
They're a little bit slimmer, more closed in, I guess, and so you sort of feel yourself wandering from side to side in these conditions. But these are quite unusual, I must say. Like, we couldn't even get into Eden yesterday. It's a 4-day cruise, basically, from Sydney down to Eden on the New South Wales coast and then back to Sydney. So most of the time is at sea.
Which is what we booked it for, to be honest, because we wanted to explore the ship, we wanted to learn about it and actually enjoy it. But, like losing the day at Eden wasn't such a great loss because we got more time on the ship to explore and lay by the pool. Although, I've got to say, the waves in the pool were so high they had to close it. I've never seen it washing over a deck like it did today. But anyway,
washing over the edges of the pool. So
the spar was the funniest thing, I reckon, because the spar, because it was moving around so much, the spar jets becoming exposed, and they were like jets of water hitting over people in the head up in the on the pool deck. But the pool deck spars are spectacular. They're like a champagne flute.
Yes.
Very, very, very sexy. I love every design element. But I reckon we'll talk about that a little bit more.
There's a video of Celebrity Edge that we've shot, taking a look all around her while we're here, which you'll find on Instagram, plus a review of our Infinite Edge stateroom on our YouTube channel as well. And shortly, we're going to chat to a Perth couple who are on their very first cruise. Okay, well, Paul, you know what that means. It's time to hear about a couple of the deals that you found this week.
Well, I've actually concentrated the deals for Australia, and especially on Celebrity Edge, considering we're here at the moment enjoying this gorgeous ship. And I sort of wanted to talk to everyone as well that the Australian market is sold out so quickly these days that this is the right time if you're thinking about doing a cruise later in the year, say from October onwards, until the end of the Australian season, which will be late March, April 2026. So now's the time to book. And at these prices, you're going to get a bargain. So the first deal is on Celebrity Edge on the 1st of October 2025. It's a 19-day cruise from Honolulu to Sydney. Now, it's a really cool. Now, you're going to get a few sea days on this, but you're going to go through Hawaii, then on to French Polynesia, Papeete, which is Tahiti, French Polynesia, then into New Zealand, Auckland, Bay of Islands, and then you end up in Sydney. It's a really cool cruise.
So is this what they call the repositioning cruises?
It is a repositioning cruise, yeah, absolutely, because they're bringing the ship down from the American waters. It's been doing Alaska and a little bit of America, and it's coming back into the Australian waters for our summer season. So, yeah, it's a really nice way to cruise across, and, you know, across the Pacific's gorgeous. So, look, we're looking at an inside room this time, and it's a brochure price of US $4,694, but only at 101 Cruise, we've got it on at $1,900 US dollars per person. Now, that's a saving of $2,794, 60% off. But you know what I think I love about this is it's $100 a day in US dollars.
Yep.
That's really cool. Look, an ocean view room, normally the brochure price is in US dollars, $4,947. But at 101 Cruise, we have it for $2,000 US dollars. That's a 60% saving, and it's only $105 US dollars per day per person. And then if you want to go to the balcony, which is always a nice way to travel, brochure price is normally in US dollars, $6,538. But at 101 Cruise, we've got it on at $1,972 US dollars per person. That's 59% off, or you're looking at $143 US dollars per day per person. Now, all these prices are valid at the 9th of May 2025 and are subject to availability and change at any time. Now, if you're airline crew as well, contact me at paul@101cruise.com.au for your best price. Okay, so our second deal, back on Celebrity Edge again, departing 1st of November 2025. It's a 12-day cruise. It's actually Sydney to Sydney, so you're going to go to New Zealand, which is an awesome place to go and check out. You're going to go to Doubtful Sound, Dusky Sound, Milford Sound, which is amazing, Dunedin, Christchurch, which we love, Auckland, and then Bay of Islands again, and then you can head back to Sydney. Now, an inside room would normally cost $8,313 US dollars, but at 101 Cruise, we have it for $1,546. That's US dollars per person. It's an 81% saving, and you look at about $129 US dollars a day, which is great savings. And then look, an ocean view room normally would be $7,885 US dollars. 101, we've got it on for $1,636. It's a saving of $6,249. And then a balcony room would normally be $12,251 US dollars. But at 101 Cruise, we have it on at $2,044. Now, that's a whopping saving of $10,207 US dollars. And it only comes out at $170 US a day. Now, as I said, these cruises sell quick, and look, if you're going to look for them around October, you're not going to find anything at all. Now, all the prices are in US dollars, valid at the 9th of May, and subject to change and availability. For airline crew, once again, if you'd like to get in contact with me at paul@101cruise.com.au, we can look at some other pricing for you as well.
Now the latest cruise and travel news.
Well, earlier this week, around 10,000 residents who live in Agostoli in Greece, a beloved cruise ship destination, suddenly found themselves without power after a cruise ship mishap. On the 4th of May, one of the two cruise ships in the port that day may have accidentally damaged an underwater submarine cable with its anchor.
Can you imagine the reception they will get when they pull into port next time?
Gosh, the whole place went under. 10,000 people living there. They would have been happy with those cruises.
I don't know how long that power is out, but I know it was out for a few days.
As excitement builds for the August 2025 debut of Royal Caribbean's newest ship, the cruise line has revealed more details on what Star of the Seas will be bringing to the high seas. For entertainment, Royal Caribbean is introducing Back to the Future, the musical, which we mentioned a couple of weeks ago. The At Sea production marks a first for the Broadway show, which recently wrapped up performances in London and New York. The production features a full orchestra, choreography, and special effects. 5 headline shows are also going to span stage, water, ice, and air aboard Star of the Seas. These will include a high-diving pirate and mermaid-themed stunt show that blends diving, synchronised swimming, and comedic storytelling in the Aqua Theatre. The longest world cruise was announced the other day that will set sail in 2027 and visit over 100 countries in 301 days. Villa V Residences 301-day world cruise will depart in November 2027 on Villa V Odyssey and visit 5 continents and over 100 countries. They're calling this epic cruise World Uncharted. The cruise will visit everything from the Amazon to Antarctica, the Panama Canal to Greenland, and the Falkland Islands to Easter Island. Prices for this incredible cruise start at just $38,799 per person. And that comes in at around $129 a day per person.
It's not bad value, really, is it?
It's amazing.
I know.
For almost a year, 301 days.
Well, I know the people in America want to go away from Trump. There's a great option for you. But yeah, look, I looked at it, $129 a day. Yeah, it's good value.
Cruise fares include all meals, accommodation, housekeeping, laundry, high-speed internet, and beer and wine with the meals, of course. So it's phenomenal.
Do you reckon you can do 301 days, but in a row?
I'd like to give it a damn good shot. And finally, I thought you'd like to hear about this. The last thing you want to hear a couple of weeks before your cruise is that it's overbooked. Uh-oh.
This is happening a lot lately.
I don't understand how it can even happen in the first place. However, I bet there were a few people on other cruises that would have loved to be in this situation. Have a listen. Some passengers booked on Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas May 15 Western Mediterranean cruise departing from Rome have been offered some tempting options due to the cruise being overbooked. Here are the 3 options they were giving. Downgrade for a free cruise and your money back. So guests can move to an interior stateroom on that same cruise they were booked on, and in return, they receive a full refund of their original cruise fare and a $200 onboard credit. This means they get to sail for free, get all their money back, plus extra spending money. That's the first option. Second option was switch ships for a free cruise and money back. Passengers could transfer to a 7-night Greek Isles cruise on Odyssey of the Seas, departing 3 days later, May 18th, from Rome. The fare for this new itinerary is completely covered and they receive a full refund of their original Allure of the Seas fare. And the third option was cancel for a future free cruise and get your money back. I don't know why you'd even look at that one, because you're missing out on the free cruise bit.
I know. I think it's great. Look, if you were flexible with your holiday, I'd be doing number 2.
Well, yeah, because it was just leaving 3 days later. So it just meant you needed to find 3 days more accommodation in Rome because you would have already been there for it or about to lob there for it. But wow, I wish my room was overbooked.
Yeah, I know.
That's
never happens to us.
That is just fantastic. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
That's, just amazing, I reckon, anyway. That's right. Now it's time for our Ship of the Ep. This is the segment that helps you get to know the different types of ships there are travelling the seas and what they've got on board. And this time we've got up close and personal with Celebrity Edge, because we're actually on it right now. As
you can hear in the background.
In the ship are as well.
I know, they're getting a bit noisy out the back. I think we need to tell them to be a bit quieter. So let's talk about the ship overall for a moment. She was built in 2018. She's 306 metres long, has a capacity of 2,908 passengers. That's a capacity in 1,467 cabins. And taking care of you is 1,320 crew, which is amazing. The ship is known for its cutting-edge features and art collection. And I love the design features that they do around the ship. Like at one point, I think it was on deck 4, you walk past and you actually see the exposed ship hull, which I've never seen on a ship before.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was really cool. I really loved that. I thought that's really a great thing that they've done. Plus, there's also some really beautiful woodwork. It looks like you're walking through a wing of an aircraft at one point. So it is really cool. The ship can cruise at a speed of 21.8 knots, and it's got 29 different restaurant bars and lounges. And I think, to be honest, we've tried a few of them. And our favourite at the moment was on day 1 when we cruised out of Sydney. We sat at the Magic Carpet and sat there looking over Sydney and the rocks. And
That's where we should have done the episode from.
Yeah, should
Tell
have.
everybody what the Magic Carpet is.
Oh, so Magic Carpet. So let me tell you about what the Edge, because we talk about the Edge a lot. So Celebrity have designed a series of ships called the Edge series, and the Edge that we're on at the moment is the first of those ships. And the thing that makes it different and distinctive, it has a platform on the side. I'm pretty sure it's port. I'm not good with sides. I'm pretty sure it's a port side. And this platform's called the Magic Carpet. It's a multi-functional space. So it can be a bar, it can be restaurants. It can also be used for transiting when you're in port as well. So it's a very clever sort of design that they've come up. And this platform moves up and down the whole ship. So we sat at, when we were departing, at the very top on the pool deck and sat on the Magic Carpet over the edge of the ship. So we had all these great views.
And it's
But
laid out like a bar. It also becomes a restaurant at night as well. They just move tables.
it's
and
one of
things
their
around.
specialty restaurants at night because it's so different, because it's going to move up and down. So
And it was just phenomenal on that first night once we boarded. I think we plonked ourselves there at about 3:00 in the afternoon, waiting for the ship to depart. And there we are in Circular Quay, overlooking Sydney, and having
sunset.
about a zillion cocktails.
yeah.
Well, one of us did.
Oh, that's how we met our friends that we're going to talk to later
Yes.
up on that deck. So we're looking forward to chatting to them as well. But it is very cool. It's a very distinctive feature about the ship. But there's lots of them as well. When we talk about their restaurants, they have 4 of the main dining and 4 complimentary dinings, which means they're all free. You don't have to pay for them. So in total, there's 8. Out of the 4 main dining rooms, they're all themed in different nationalities, which is really cool. So you've got the Cosmopolitan, which is a new American style, the Cyprus, which is a Greek heritage, Normandy being French cuisine, and then Tuscan, obviously for Italy as well. So it was a really nice feeling when you go into these different restaurants. They felt different, and they had speciality dishes for each restaurant, which was great. Then the 7 specialty restaurants are just to die for. We're looking so forward to it. We haven't done it yet, but we're going to go to Eden tonight. I'm sure we'll be putting it in a blog somewhere, because the food in Eden is the next level again, and it's very specialised, and it's at the after the ship with beautiful what they call sunset views. So that'll be spectacular. They also have Le Petit Chef, which is a really funky, cool idea where these little chefs are projected onto your table on your plate, and they sort of look like they're creating and cooking your meal that you're going to have. And then all of a sudden your dish appears.
Fantastic.
It's a very cool thing. So lots of great food options. And look, with 8 bars and lounges around the ship, you're never bored for doing something. It's a great ship to go around and have a look. My favourite would be the Martini Bar, because I can get a lychee martini, which is my favourite. And it's a really beautiful area in the Grand Plaza with a gorgeous light feature that goes right across it.
Well, it's over 3 levels, in actual fact. Decks 3, 4 and 5. I
Yeah,
think
the
it is.
Grand
So
Plaza, yeah.
It's like a big dip in the middle of the ship. So
It's the
you
central
sort of
meeting point of the ship as well.
stand around the balconies on the sides, on the 2nd and 3rd level, looking down into this Martini Bar. It looks fantastic. And it's one of the first things you see when you enter the ship, when you
it's
board.
spectacular. And one of the things I liked about Celebrity as well, they have the availability of officers. You see the officers sitting in the cafe and having a coffee, or they won't be drinking. You don't see them at the bars, but they're there to have a chat too as well. And they're very open to telling you about features on the ship as well, which is really cool. But look at the pool deck upstairs. That's spectacular as well, isn't it? Over multiple levels. As we mentioned, the spas are elevated in like a champagne flute. They've got these perspex around it, which makes it really funky to make it feel like it's a real champagne flute as well. The pool was really lovely, great sun lounges all the way around, and lots of areas that you can go and just chill out and not have to be near lots of people. What else did you love, Steve?
I spent a bit of time in the solarium as well, like just rather than being outside amongst the... it got a little bit windy because, as we said, the seas were a little bit choppy. And so just sitting inside the solarium, once again, there's a full pool in there and, some hot tubs and that sort of thing. But as well, lots of sun lounges, all facing outwards of the ship. So I took this great shot of my legs, pointing towards the window, and this gorgeous sun and waves or ocean out there as well, which I just loved.
And remember, this ship is going to go to Alaska as well. So it's really nice to know that they've got this indoor solarium area, which will be nice and warm while you're cruising past in Alaska. One of the great features on this ship as well, they've got the retreat. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't go in there because we're not retreat members. So
I could see it.
I
just couldn't go in there.
I know, it was killing us. And look, the retreat is like a ship within a ship, and we've mentioned that before on our podcast. It's a new trend the cruise lines are doing. So it gives you more personalised services, butler service in there, and it doesn't make you feel like you're on a ship with 3,000 people. It's, it's limited down to a couple of hundred. But some of those suites that they have on the ship are incredible, like the Villa. There's 3 of them. It's a 2-story suite. It's only for 2 people, but it has its own private pool, like a plunge pool out on the deck. And all of your villa looks out over the ocean, so it's all glassed in. It's a beautiful, beautiful villa. You've got the iconic suite, there's a celebrity suite. And because we're on a new ship, they've brought in a new suite there as well, which is called Aqua Suite. Now, don't get it mixed up with Aqua Class that we always recommend you go to. This one is actually the same concept. So you're going to get all the benefits of the Aqua Class, but you're in an Aqua Suite. So it is bigger, and you also get retreat entitlements, which is really cool.
So now we're chatting to a couple from Perth who are on their first cruise, and I thought it would be good to chat to them on the podcast to get their thoughts on how the experience has been for them. So on the line, we have Joe and Brad. Guys, whereabouts are you on this ship at the moment?
We're on the Magic Carpet at the moment.
Oh, the place that we met you. How cool.
Yeah.
Place where we had
We
1
haven't left.
zillion cocktails.
I know, where we barged in and see, is anyone sitting on this couch?
So look,
It was amazing.
Joe, what was it like at the very beginning from when you arrived at Circular Quay in Sydney? How was your experience boarding the ship?
It is just the most beautiful city to actually board a ship. The actual booking in was really easy. It was quick, seamless. I'm actually an events manager, so I always look at everything logistically, and they are slick. It was amazing. Literally, we got onto the ship and we looked around and we could just explore.
How exciting was it when you walked into the Grand Plaza, the first thing that you walked into the ship, and then you saw the Martini Bar and the great light structure that they've got there?
I just could not believe it. As you said, this is our first cruise. We decided just to do the 4-day to see if we enjoyed it. But my mouth was just wide open, like my eyes. I just could not believe what I was experiencing. It was just, it's huge.
I know. And look, I'm like that, Joe. Every time I go on a cruise and you walk in, you go, oh my God, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. Oh my God, look, that's so cool. It's very cool. Hey, Brad.
So glamorous.
Oh, I know. It is very glamorous and elegant. Brad, how did you find the ship's conditions and facilities?
Oh, they were incredible. It was amazing. The size and scale of the place was huge, and the facilities were out of this world, to be honest. Like I said, we'd never done it before, so didn't really have an expectation, but it was incredible, way beyond what I would have expected.
Ship was built in 2018 or something. Did it feel newish or oldish to you? What's your thoughts?
It could have rolled off the dock yesterday. It was it was beautiful. It was in magnificent condition.
Everything was perfect, from the paint to the bathrooms. Everything looked spot on, and such beautiful colours. And the chairs, just in the areas you walk through, everything was stunning.
Yeah, they keep it up well.
Every chair looks like it's worth about $3,000, doesn't it? It's.
Because I said to Brett, I want that, and I want that.
Yeah, no, we agree. It feels like the ship is in pretty good nick. Joe, has it felt overcrowded at any point to you?
No, not at all, actually. I believe this ship is actually full on numbers at the moment, but there's so much room. I've never felt crowded, and we've gone to the restaurants mostly, not to the buffets, and it's just, I just feel very roomy.
Did you love the restaurants and the food?
Wow. They're like 5-star. and there's enough food. It's portioned right. The service was top notch. Like, oh, we love it. We cannot believe it's a part of the package. It's incredible.
I know
Yeah,
you feel like you're shoplifting at the end when you don't get a bill and you walk out, don't you?
It's incredible. And the service is so good. You would think that they're maybe not coming and asking you for drinks because it's a part of the package. But no, we were always getting drinks. Nothing was any trouble.
Some places, if everything's included, you feel like they're not, they're not very forward in keeping offering drinks and all that.
No.
But that was not the case.
No, I think all cruises are
No.
pretty good at doing that. And what I love is that the staff on board are always amazing and they work so hard. You'll see them at breakfast and then mostly at lunch, or you'll see them at lunch and dinner and then maybe at the nightclub or the theatre later for in the bar. And they're just always working and they're always happy. I just can't get over that.
Always smiling. And that's the other thing I noticed. I could be just a little bit lost, looking around trying to find my way, and someone would find me. You don't see staff always around, but they must be, because whenever I was looking around thinking which way to my room, someone would just come up to me and say, "Do you need help?"
Yeah.
And the amount of staff they have, I'm not sure of what stats it is, but I've really felt like we were looked after, not just one of many.
Yeah, I think there's
There's
about 1,200 crew on board.
1320.
Yeah, 1320.
Yeah, it's a lot of staff, and you're right, Joe. They're always around and available, which is really cool. And now, what sort of room did you book? And tell us about your room. Did you love it?
Oh, the room was incredible. Yeah, it was. I can't think of the name of it now, but the balcony with the full opening window.
Infinite balcony.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Infinite balcony. Yeah, it was. The room was incredible. Just to be able to open the window up and hear the ocean and get the breeze into the room, and it gave you that much extra space in the room that you wouldn't have if you had a balcony. And the room itself was laid out beautifully. It was amazing.
And it was spacious.
It was
like
very
you had
spacious, yeah.
a lounge area, plus your bedroom, plus the balcony. You even had an area that I could put my makeup on, like a desk, if you're an office worker or something like that, doing it for business. It was incredible, and it was so clean. It was bright. It was not dated. It
Very
was
contemporary,
stunning.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Contemporary.
Very contemporary. Yeah.
Definitely my style.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you like the bathroom? Because sometimes bathrooms on a ship
Stunning.
can be really small. How did you find this one?
Stunning. A lot of room, and again, it was modern. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. We were in a concierge room, and I think on the first night that we met you, you said you were the concierge as well, because we had that special welcome lunch.
We had that.
Yeah, and you're right.
Yes,
the bathroom
we
is
had
really good size and a decent shower where you can actually turn around easily, which is great.
Absolutely.
And no shower
also,
curtain. See,
No shower
no
curtain.
shower curtain. Nice
No,
glass
is that what
door.
happens on some of
well,
them?
yeah, this is your
This
first
is our
cruise, but
first.
on some
Yeah.
cruises, there's just a shower curtain, not a proper door, and it just makes, well, to me, it makes a big difference.
It makes it feel
We
old-fashioned
might
when
have
it's a
been
shower
spoiled.
curtain. Yeah, no,
Oh.
you picked a great cruise to go on, so I think you've done really, really well.
Brad, was there anything different from what you expected? Did anything surprise you about life on board?
Well, like I said, it's our first trip, so I didn't really have any expectation, really know what to expect. The food was probably the most surprising thing. Just the quality of the food that we've been getting in the restaurants is it's incredible.
Right.
It's like you're dining at a 5-star restaurant every meal you go to.
Yeah.
It's way above what I would have expected, yeah.
And Joe, today's the last day. Have the 4 days been long enough?
The 4 days has been great for a first-time cruise. I'd probably recommend it, just so you can work out if that's what you like.
You've been a bit worse for wear. Well, let's admit, we were talking earlier about how rough it's been, which is quite unusual.
The swells were really high.
But, so you...
That's been unusual.
You've
I think
suffered
my
a bit.
handy hint. Well, look, I think my handy hint would be go down to the medical area straight away. I was never sick that I was vomiting. Like, I never got that sick.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling a bit vertigo, I had some seasickness tablets or motion sickness tablets. They didn't work that great. And I went down to the medical room
Yep.
and they just gave me 2 tablets and they last 12 hours. Well, I was back to normal.
Oh,
So
good.
I think a handy hint would be if you are feeling a bit vertigo, motion sickness, don't wait. Just go down there and they just hand them over 2 tablets I got. got one for the last 2 days, and it made so much difference. So that would be my handy hint. The other thing I think is a handy hint would be when we went on the magic carpet the first night with you guys, we were ordering the cocktails that were on the menu, and we actually should have gone to the bar because there was a lot more cocktails they make, and they were a part of our package, so that would have cost us nothing. So another handy hint, I think, is make sure you ask if there's any other cocktails and is it a part of my package. And then, I mean, the amount we could choose from was amazing.
Yeah, it is good,
Absolutely
isn't it?
amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's always handy if you're having a zillion cocktails in one session.
It is handy, yeah.
Well, if you meet a new friend,
There's some variety there.
if you meet a new friend called Paul and Steve, they do lead you down the wrong.
Oh, I don't believe that, Joe.
How dare you? We
I think it was-
never.
That has been the bonus. That has been the bonus. I think meeting people.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And we always make really good friends when we're on a cruise ship. So, yeah, and it was gorgeous meeting you too. Hey, Brad, what were some of the standout moments on the cruise for you?
We had dinner at the Eden one night, and that was amazing dinner. Absolutely amazing meal.
Yep.
Yeah.
We went to the theatre and watched the Magician in the theatre. The theatre itself is it's amazing.
How
space.
awesome is that
He
theatre?
was great.
Adam Murby was the magician.
Adam Murby, yeah.
He was incredible.
Another Perth
fantastic.
guy.
Very, very talented. And look, how did he do those card tricks into the camera? Like, it was amazing, wasn't it?
To call him a magician doesn't even sound like his entertainment. He's an illusionist. He was unbelievable.
He was. Yeah.
And then there was a comedian. He was great as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And how cool was that theatre? Because it felt like you were in a really big theatre anywhere and around the world.
Oh yeah, you could have been anywhere. You didn't have to go on a ship. It's beautiful and laid out so beautifully. It was amazing.
And you can drink in there as well. They're always coming around getting drink orders from you, which I love.
Cocktails in the theatre again, yeah.
It's the perfect
Well,
night.
as you were asking about the 4 days, I think for anyone who hasn't done a cruise, the 4 days is a great idea, just to see if a cruise is for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it would be a totally different experience if we were actually going around Europe or we're stopping at ports like for a 24-day cruise or something.
Yep.
I think that would be a different experience again. So you couldn't just think
In what way?
the 4-day cruise. Well, I just think the good thing about if you were dropping off and seeing places, you would be able to unpack once, sleep, and then the next day you'd see another part of the world.
I agree, totally.
And I think that would add as well. So I think the 4-day cruise is almost to see if you like the space, you like the environment, but then it will be a different experience again if we were stopping in different places across a 15-day period.
Absolutely.
It'd be even better.
Because you're going to experience a new port, you're going to a different country. It's a really great cultural experience when you do that as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I can hear Brad slurping on his beer and Joe trying to sneak in a few slurps through a straw of
My last few cocktails.
her 16th cocktail. So we will leave you to it. Lovely to meet you. Thank you for chatting to us on the show.
Oh, I hope we get to see you around the ship.
problem.
No problem.
Lovely couple. All right. Now, to finish off, you've got a couple more specials for us.
Yeah, so and staying on Celebrity Edge again. Now, this is a similar sort of trip to what we're doing at the moment. It's a 4-night cruise, Sydney to Sydney, heading down to Hobart. So you have a sea day, Hobart sea day, which is really cool. Now, look, a normal inside room would set you back in US dollars $3,749, but at 101 Cruise, guess what? It's only $820 US dollars per person. That's a whopping 78% off, which is awesome. Listen, if you want to go to an ocean view room, that would normally set you back in US dollars $3,137. But at 101 Cruise, we've got it for $856. Now, that's a saving of 73%. And look, we don't talk about the extra different rooms because we normally talk about balcony rooms, but we're actually in a concierge room this time. It's concierge class. Still get a balcony. It's Infinity Edge. Now, we've got it on this cruise at $4,507 US dollars per person. But at 101 Cruise, get this, $885 US per person.
Wow.
I know, 80% off. And look, if you want to go up to the next level from there, you go into an Aqua Class balcony room. And what that does, that gives you another specialty restaurant and some other really cool perks. So normally that would set you back US dollars at $5,269. But at 101 Cruise, we have it on at $1,153 US per person. Look, that's a saving of 78%. Now, if you're airline crew and you liked the idea of that cruise, give me a buzz at paul at 101cruise.com.au and I can see some better deals for you. Look, the last one is just a gorgeous cruise. It's a little bit different because, again, departing from Sydney to Sydney, it's on the 14th of January 2026. You're going to travel up to Brisbane, Airlie Beach, Cairns, Port Douglas, and then back down to Sydney. I think they're gorgeous destinations and you're going to love it. Look, an inside room would normally cost you US dollars $6,183, but at 101 Cruise, we have it at $1,441. That's a 11-night cruise, 77% off. The Ocean View room, normally US dollars, it's $8,467, but we have it on at 101 Cruises at $1,628. That's a saving of 81%, which is massive. And look, we've still got some really good deals on concierge class as well. So normally that would set you back $8,921 US dollars per person. But at 101 Cruise, we've got it on for $2,028 US dollars per person, and that's 77% off. Now, all of these prices are valid as the 9th of May 2025, always subject to change and availability. Once again, if you're airline crew, give me an email on paul at 101cruise.com.au and we'll look at some other pricing for you as well. Just remember, the Australian market always sells really quick. This is the time to get in there, book the rooms where you can get some great ones, and we'd love to have a chat to you.
Remember, you can get access to all the deals by signing up to our newsletter at 101cruise.com.au. Once you've signed up and you've got access inside the website, there are heaps of articles in the 101 Cruise magazine section, like the 11 best first-time cruise lines for all budgets, and is it possible to stay fit on a cruise?
Absolutely. And don't forget, also, whether you're booking a cruise through us or not, you can always buy travel insurance through our website, 101cruise.com.au. It's NIB travel insurance, which is one of the best.
Yeah, and we can tell you from experience, you'll find it hard to beat the rates we can get for you, especially if you're in the airline industry, but even outside the industry. Compare us with any other travel insurance provider and you'll see. Plus, if you're an NIB Health member, you now get a further 15% discount.
On our next episode, I'm going to run through a bunch of tips and tricks to make your cruise go smoother.
Oh,
Yeah.
how interesting.
I know.
And it's getting very noisy in here, and people are starting to give us looks because we've got headphones on and we're talking to ourselves.
And I'm not drinking my martini.
So that's it for this episode, live from the club on board Celebrity Edge.
See ya.
For more, go to 101cruise.com.au and sign up for the newsletter and to get access to the site. You can also follow us on Facebook at 101 Cruise and on Instagram at 101 Cruises.